William West Anderson, better known by his stage name Adam West, died on Saturday, June 10th at the age of 88. West enjoyed a 60-year career in film and television, with his defining role as Batman in 1966 television adaptation. The show only lasted for 3 seasons, but it would, for better or worse, influence the remainder of West's career. West returned to the role of Batman several times after the TV show ended, doing voice work for various animated series through the 1970s and 80s, eventually leading to a varied voice acting career. For more than a generation, West's voice was the voice of Batman, and he continued that part to the very end. He will be missed. The world is going gaga over Wonder Woman, so it looks like Marvel decided it was time to remind everybody who's at the top of the pack by releasing the teaser trailer for Black Panther. Due out February 16th of 2018, Black Panther will showcase the trials and tribulations of everybody's favorite Wakandan king, protecting his country and crown from usurpers and outside threats. Black Panther is also the last Marvel Studios movie before Infinity War, so best make sure you stick around for that after credits scene. Over in video games, Electronic Arts is pushing up their E3 conference like it's a Walmart on Black Friday. E3 doesn't actually begin until Tuesday, but I guess they just didn't want to wait, giving their big presentation a full 3 days before the expo begins. Showcasing their most high-profile upcoming games, EA's conference featured this year's Madden NFL, FIFA, and NBA titles, all of which seem to be pushing their boundaries with story campaigns. Meanwhile, Need for Speed Payback basically looks like Fast and Furious the game, which I suppose makes sense considering the Fast and Furious movies have basically become video games anyway. For something original that actually looks pretty cool, A Way Out is a new co-op adventure game from the creators of Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons. Designed to be played in couch co-op, the game follows 2 men coordinating a prison break. And of course, Star Wars Battlefront 2. It looks like EA took the feedback about the first game's lack of story mode to heart, and the sequel will feature a fully fleshed out single-player campaign that takes place in the aftermath of Return of the Jedi. Of course, multiplayer is still a focus as well, and Battlefront 2 will have multiplayer maps set across eras in the Star Wars universe. More importantly, Battlefront 2 will not come with a season pass for future content updates. Post-launch content will be rolled out freely, starting with a December update that introduces a map based on Episode 8. And EA wasn't the only one to jump the gun before E3. Nintendo apparently couldn't wait to tell people about the latest in Pokemon news, teasing the first Pokemon game for the Nintendo Switch, a port of Pokken Tournament. Yes, like Mario Kart 8, Pokken Tournament is moving over to the Switch with some additional characters and features. 5 new Pokemon will bring the roster up to 21 fighters, and the deluxe version of the game will include 3v3 battles and ranked online matches. Between Splatoon, ARMS, and Pokken Tournament, it looks like Nintendo is making a bigger push for competitive gaming on the Switch. An invitational tournament will take place during E3 this week. And speaking of ports, the original Pokemon Gold and Silver is coming to Nintendo's 3DS eShop. Getting the same treatment that Red and Blue received, the Gold and Silver ports will let you capture Generation 2 favorites and put them in the Pokemon Bank for future trading. But if you're disappointed in all these ports, don't worry, there's still a new Pokemon game in the works. Kind of. Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon will be pseudo-sequels to the original Generation 7 games, introducing Pokemon that weren't available previously before. And on the topic of fighting game ports, Dissidia Final Fantasy is finally getting a proper console release. The fighting game, which brings together characters across the Final Fantasy franchise to beat the hell out of each other, has a history as complicated as its in-game story. The franchise first launched in 2008 on the PlayStation Portable, getting a second entry in 2011 that served as both a remake and a prequel to the original. The game was then remade again for Japanese arcades in 2015, and that version of the game is now set to be ported to the PlayStation 4 next year. In other gaming news, it looks like all those jokes about Bubsy being the mysterious third character in Sonic Forces awoke the Bobcat from his long slumber. After more than 20 years since his last video game appearance, this week Accolade announced that Bubsy is coming back with a new 2D platformer. The new game is being developed by Black Forest Games, and if you're curious how it might play, take a look at Giana's Sisters' Twisted Dream, another franchise that the studio brought back from the dead. The limited footage shown in the Bubsy teaser shows graphics, level design, physics, and even sound assets that are strikingly similar. Moving on from something old to something new, Edmund McMillen, creator of The Binding of Isaac, announced a new game this week too. The end is nigh looks like a crazy difficult platformer in the vein of Super Meat Boy, but with McMillan's unique sense of humor. And in this week's releases, hitting theaters this week is Cars 3. Once again, Pixar reminds us that even the best of us need to cash in every so often. But hey, don't worry, The Incredibles 2 is still happening next year. Meanwhile, the ladies are having a hard time this week. First up, there's Rough Night. Scarlett Johansson and her coked-up friends accidentally kill a stripper and have to weekend at Bernie's their way through the rest of her bachelorette party, and I'm sure they'll learn some important life lessons along the way. And that may sound like a bad night, but they've got it a lot better than the girls in 47 Meters Down. A pair of sisters go scuba diving and pretty much the worst possible thing happens. Yeah, nope. Nope, 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 nope. Nope. Over on television, Syfy looks like they might be pushing some limits with Blood Drive, a Grindhouse-inspired series about, well, I'm not sure, but it looks really cool. And on Disney XD, Avengers Assemble is back for its 4th season this week. It looks like they might be up for a roster change when the core team gets scattered across space and Black Panther has to recruit a new set of heroes. Hey, doesn't he have a movie coming up? And in video games, before E3 overshadows everything, we have kind of a weak lineup this week, starting with Uninvited, an interesting looking stealth puzzle game that has good art in the trailer, but the game itself looks like it was made for DOS in 1994. Witchinor is another retro title. This roguelike shooter looks fast-paced and interesting, but nothing particularly stands out about it. Now for something more unique, Super Dimension Neptune vs. Sega Hard Girls, because why wouldn't there be a JRPG about anthropomorphized Sega consoles? For fighters this week, the King of Fighters 14 is coming to Steam with a PC-specific edition. 14 seems like a pretty high number for a genre that usually just adds a few subtitles to the name, but the game has a huge roster and looks pretty decent. Castle of Shikigami doesn't appear to actually have a castle in it, and according to the description, the game is about a special police force investigating an occultist serial killer, but all I'm seeing is a top-down bullet hell game. And finally, ARMS reaches the Nintendo Switch. After 2 weeks of test demoing the fighter, it'll be interesting to see if Nintendo can really balance this game for a competitive seed. And wrapping things up with this week's awesome video, She Says has a boundary break video that literally takes you behind the scenes of Batman Arkham Asylum. It's very cool if you're interested in how cinematic tricks are done in video games.
As you can see in this scene, it's heavily implied that Commissioner Gordon's over off to the right there. Not only does Harley say he's there, but Gordon himself says so in his own voice.
Where's Gordon?
Wouldn't you like to
I'm over
know?
here!
Shut up!
However, if we were to manipulate the camera around and show you what's really going on, turns out that Commissioner Gordon's just another Harley with an elongated neck.
That's everything for this week, so what are you looking forward to from E3? Let me know in the comments. If you like this video or want to subscribe, go ahead and hit the appropriate button, and I wouldn't mind if you shared this video with a friend. I'll be back next week for a full E3 roundup, so until then, have a great week!